Hey, Tommy Tell the Truth here, and back with another um, residue show for you. And this one is about Ed McMahon and his big check. And he worked for Publishers Clearinghouse, not American Family Publishers. But anyway, when you type in Ed McMahon big check, the number one article that comes up, even though it's not the latest one, is of course Mandela Effect, Ed McMahon and Publishers Clearinghouse by Snopes, the dopes at Snopes. And I'll go ahead and just glance over that real quick. I mean, everybody's talked about it and probably seen it. Mandela Effect, Ed McMahon and the Publishers Clearinghouse. Here are several reasons why so many Americans think they remember Ed McMahon. Oh, remember entertainer Ed McMahon working for Publishers Clearinghouse, and obviously he's in tons of series, where they mention Ed McMahon coming to the door or whatever, and he even comes to the door in one or two of them or whatever. So yeah, and Snopes even shows you all this residue and then blames it on that. But it doesn't make sense that that Ed McMahon would have and Publishers Clearinghouse would have went along with all that if he'd never worked for them. All right. Anyway, so another thing weird when you Google it is once you get past like the first page, which does have where it starts. Okay, you got number one article, Snopes, and then just a few down, Snopes, and these aren't even anything to do with Ed McMahon. That one has it in there, but it's like at the bottom or whatever. So instead of getting Ed McMahon big check stuff, you're getting Snopes, different articles of Snopes. There's the Guardian, but I mean, and it's just page after page, Snopes. One Reuters one from 2008 talking about Ed McMahon raps to avoid the bad credit. The commercial he did, everybody's seen a million times, where he goes around trying to get money back from the people he gave big checks to, but he never gave them to, blah, blah, blah. All right, but you just Snopes. All of those are Snopes. Every one of these, except for one, is Snopes, and that one's not Ed McMahon. It's Vincent McMahon Wrestling. Snopes, all different Snopes articles. Why are you getting all these different Snopes articles for Ed McMahon big check? It's stupid. And you keep going page after page. I'm gonna skip ahead to 11. Snopes. One that's not, and that's a Mandela Effect article there from 2019. But yeah, just so many Snopes articles. All right, so moving on. I'm sure everybody's seen this one too. This is from 2015. It says let me just back this down a little bit. There are no fees to claim your prize when you win the Publishers Clearinghouse sweepstakes. The Publishers Clearinghouse there. The day has finally come. You've won the Publishers Clearinghouse sweepstakes. At least that's what the guy on the phone is telling you. But don't send your thanks to the ghost of Ed McMahon just yet. If someone is telling you to fork over huge wads of cash in order to claim your prize from PHC. So there you go. Don't send your thanks to the ghost of Ed McMahon yet. This is from Consumer First, or Consumerist. I'm sorry, consumerist.com. I've never seen this one before, but I'm sure Brian or somebody has showed it. But anyway, don't be sending your thanks to the ghost of Ed McMahon if you win Publishers Clearinghouse, because number one, he didn't work for him, and number two, it's probably a scam if they're asking you to send money. Okay. Anyway, so Publishers Clearinghouse shocks Miami Gardens grandma, the newest 1 million winner is from our Miami Gardens. And she had been sending postcards to Publishers Clearinghouse since 1997, hoping one day famous spokesperson, the late Ed McMahon, would come knocking on her door. So for 20, 30 years or whatever, she sent these things in to Publishers Clearinghouse, hoping to meet Ed McMahon someday. So she's had it wrong for 3 decades or whatever, you know. Imagine that. Dumb grandma. Not. So this one here. Getting creative with toilet paper. That's it. The following week I was grocery shopping in the late afternoon at Harris Teeter grocery store. When checking out, I was offered a 12-pack of TP. I felt like I won the lottery. Ed McMahon didn't deliver a check, but the kind associate sold me a bonus pack of toilet paper. Apparently they had an extra shipment that day. I felt like I'd won the lottery. Ed McMahon didn't deliver a check. There you go. Yeah, he did. He sure didn't deliver it because he never worked for him now in this rowdy. All right, this one here is Knock Knock Who Cares, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying Stop Worrying and Love Ignoring People at My Door. I have shared this one before, but anyway, can't hurt to show it again. It could be Ed McMahon with a giant novelty check for 1,000,000 smackaroos, but no, it can't be, dude, because he never delivered them. We just all have the worst memory in the world, and the exact memories too, though, the exact worst memories in the world. You know, that's the thing. It might be a good friend who wanted to show you their new Star Wars figures, especially if it has C3PO with the all gold leg, you know. It could be a girl guide with some of those delicious cookies. It could be Ed McMahon with a giant novelty check for millions of smackaroos. That's what the whole paragraph said. So yeah, all right. Again, here's the Snopes one. So I did have it open to show you, but this one's is artists capture your wedding on site and on canvas. It could be described as an Ed McMahon moment. Ben Keys, a wedding artist who owns Wed on Canvases, rang the doorbell. Rather than a large sweepstakes check, he presented newlyweds with a framed oil painting, which he began creating the month before on January 7th, their wedding day. So there you go. This guy wanted to play Ed McMahon. So Ed McMahon never delivered checks because American Family Publishers, who he now worked for, never delivered checks to the door like that, like Publisher Clearinghouse did, like Ed McMahon did, but not necessarily. In what could be described as an Ed McMahon moment. Imagine that. All right. And this one. Promo celebrate 10 years of Rock the Bells with contest ops. Yeah, here we go. The second Rock the Bells contest is at RTB Clearinghouse Sweepstakes. Never heard of that one. No, Ed McMahon, RIP, will not be showing up at your door with a novelty size check if you win. Imagine that. Right there. The second Rock the bells to rock the balls contest is the RTB Clearinghouse Sweepstakes. No, Ed McMahon will not be showing up at your door with a novelty size check if you win. Okay. Goes Ed McMahon's. This one here is just a connection, a coincidence connection I have with Ed McMahon. Ed McMahon sues hospital billionaire over broken neck. So apparently, in 2007, big man tumbled on an unsafe entry stairs at a March 2007 dinner at a home of Robert Day, the founder of Los Angeles investment management firm TCW Group. So anyway, he went to the hospital, and like I did, with a broken neck, and the hospital failed to diagnose the broken neck and discharged him. And that exact thing happened to me. And I was telling these people my neck is broke, and they still misread my x-rays and sent me home. Not once, but twice, actually. Sorry about the phone. I will okay. Quiet, I put on quiet. So I had to hire a lawyer, one of the biggest lawyer firms in this area, Fred Levin, the Levin Group, law group, um, and had to threaten the hospital with a lawsuit. And I guess we should have sued them anyway, because like I said, they sent me home not once but twice, technically three times, but they told me to go to another hospital. They kind of, set it up to me to go to see another doctor that was at another hospital. But they sent me home twice with a broken neck. And then when I called the lawyer and he called and threatened them with a lawsuit, they called me and said, "Oh, we're sorry, we misread your x-rays. Your neck is broken. We want to send an ambulance to come get you now." And I told them, "No, no, I'll come back on my own, you know." And no, thank you for the ambulance ride. So I went back up there, and then they set it up to where I could go to another hospital. But long story short, yeah, that's pretty crazy that me and Ed McMahon both had to have a lawyer and possible lawsuit. I don't know if he made any money off that. Probably not, because he ended up almost losing his house or whatever it did. Somebody had to bail him out. But anyway, so just a couple more here, and then I'm gonna get off of here. Braylon is taking a nap and probably gonna get up any minute now. He got up like 10-15 minutes after I told y'all this morning, that he was going to get up for the day. He certainly got up pretty quick after I said he was going to. But anyway, I've probably showed this one before, it's quite possible. But this one here on this date, 1994, Sharks gave San Jose its first huge sports moment. I'm getting caught now. And it's 4:41, so it's 20 till 2019 till, but 20 till time. Get your ball out and plug it with the nugget. I'll be doing that in a minute when I get done with the show. Okay, so waving his fist in the air, all of us grinning as if Ed McMahon just showed up at the door with a check showing lots of zeros. But Ed McMahon wasn't responsible for the lunacy. All right, there you go. All of us grinning as if Ed McMahon just showed up at the door with a check showing lots of zeros. Well, that's not possible in this reality, so sorry. Now, this is the best one yet. Okay, this is from last month, July 12th, 4 days before my birthday. Jane the Virgin writer recounts growing up undocumented in Illegally Yours. So let me see if I can find it in here when I'm trying to.
Support for NPR and the following message come from SAP Concur. Tap the play button to hear from Mary Frances Benfelsen at SAP Concur and implementation partner Aaron McDermott at the Linden Group, who discuss how having travel expense.
Okay, yeah, I should have set it up. But anyway, so check this out. Like I said, this is new. July 12th, 2022 at 12:22. p.m. 222. Come on, twice there. Wow. All right. Anyway, so Dave Davies, host, says this is fresh air. I'm Dave Davies. In today's for Terry Gross. In today for Terry Gross. Our guest, Raphael Augustin, is a successful TV writer and producer, but that's not the subject of his new memoir. It's about his experience growing up as an undocumented immigrant in the United States. Augustin was born in Ecuador, and when he came to the United States, with his parents as a 7-year-old, he was so young and naive that he thought the 4th of July fireworks over the Los Angeles airport were were there to herald his family's arrival. His book tells the story of his parents leaving their middle class existence in Ecuador and working for their menial jobs in America, as his life of learning English constantly moving from school to school and figuring out how to apply to college with a strong high school record, but no social security number. There are moments of heartbreaking humor, like his dad's exhilaration upon getting a publisher's clearinghouse notice from a man named Ed McMahon that he had won $1 million. Raphael Augustin, as a writer for the CW network show Jane the Virgin, and is now a CEO of the Latino Film Institute, where he oversees the Semina Project and the Los Angeles Latino International Film Festival. So imagine that. I'm surprised he didn't say a little more, but there are moments of heartbreaking humor, like his dad's exhilaration upon getting a publisher's clearinghouse notice from a man named Ed McMahon. Now, who's gonna go to all that detail, and not have it right? That's what people remember, Publishers Clearinghouse and Ed McMahon. So I thought that was a pretty cool piece of residue there from an undocumented, documented. No, he's probably documented. He works for probably with immigrant. So there you go. That was it, folks. Ed McMahon worked for Publishers Clearinghouse. I mean, it's just ridiculous how much how much residue there is out there. But not just that, it's one of the biggest ones that so many people remember too. It's like as big as the Berenstein Bears books. This one's from Blue Pac-Man. I'm gonna show this one real quick. Just seen him this morning in the chat.
Guys, stop getting ripped off by
Definitely sub and belt Blue Pac-Man 13 Mandela affected videos. Let me just stop here for a second too. Since Snopes put out that article about Ed McMahon never worked for Publishers Clearinghouse, mine and other channels have been getting a lot of consistent hits on our Ed McMahon videos, and like even this past month, in the last 30 days, the #1 looked at video on my channel is an Ed McMahon one, and several other ones in the top 10 too. So people are definitely looking into this. There's so many people that remember.
One was we went up to some guys and I asked them if they had anything they wanted to say to you, and
Yeah.
I didn't really connect what they were talking about. They started saying that you owed them money for a check or something like that, and I wasn't thinking about Publishers Clearinghouse.
I know those guys, and they're still waiting for their money. Yeah.
Do you have a clip of that there, Logan?
Here on Hollywood Boulevard, here on the channel, TommyMe.com. What's your name now, sir?
Chuck.
Chuck. And what are you doing today on Hollywood Boulevard?
Absolutely nothing. Trying to look beautiful.
Awesome. What's your name, sir?
My name's Mark.
Mark. Now, you know who I have on my show tonight?
No, but I love
Ed Mcmahon is on my show tonight
Really?
for a full hour. You want to say something to Ed McMahon?
I do. Ed, I'm still waiting for my check, and I'm kind of bitter that, I haven't received it yet. I hope it's 10 plus because I've been waiting a long time.
What do you mean? Why do you need a check from Ed McMahon?
Because he owes me money.
No, I don't think this is
$50.
No.
Ask him.
Yeah.
You got him on your show
Ed
tonight. Ed, if you try to BS him on the show tonight,
No, he's
and
not
say that
gonna.
you don't owe
Ed
me money,
does not owe
no,
you
that's-
money.
no.
Ed was hosting, the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson for 30 years. He doesn't owe outstanding debts to you guys.
I think so, man.
Tell him that if you run into him again, tell him he came in second.
Yeah.
He was that close. Yeah, he could have won the money.
You would actually walk up to people's doorsteps and give them the
Oh,
check?
yeah, sure.
You would actually walk up to people's doorsteps and give them the check?
yeah.
You would actually walk up to people's doorsteps
Not in this reality.
and give them the
Oh,
check?
yeah, sure.
How many times did you present someone with a
Well, I
million
gave away
dollar check?
$110 million.
110 million.
Yeah.
How good must have that felt?
Oh, it's wonderful. We had to have a nurse in residence. Are you kidding me? It's a wonderful feeling, to give somebody $1 million.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
What would people would just sort of
Oh, they go
overwhelmed
crazy,
with joy?
They
and-
almost faint. They would almost faint. Yeah. But it's quite a thrill to come up and hand somebody $1 million. Yeah, those giant checks. It's quite a thrill to come up and hand somebody $1 million. Yeah, those giant checks.
Man, I'll tell you what. I don't know. Doesn't seem like any residue proof to me. But I'm just a dope that works with Snopes. Listen to me. Nothing to see here. No, nothing to see. Oh dear. Come on, people. The Mandela effect is real. It's changing anything and everything. All righty. R.I.P. Ed McMahon. And I am going to call this a show. 29 minutes until 4:20 somewhere. What? I hope everybody is having a wonderful Wednesday. I hope you have a terrific Thursday. And so on, so on, so on. Hope you're having a wonderful week too. Period. All right. Keep it real. Don't believe the hype. Keep it flat and stationary, like the earth. Oh dear. Okay. Much love. Thank you to everyone who puts up with my silliness and my imperfectness and me not having the answers to everything in the world. None of us have all the answers. All right. I'll be back soon. Tell me here, tell me out. God bless you all.